Success as a real estate agent. Let's pick up where we left off. Bookmark here. Targeting your marketing message. Just as important as where you put your marketing dollars is how strong your message is. Agents turn off the wrong marketing road when they try to take communication shortcuts by blitzing the market with their ad messages. This route leads to a dead end for two reasons. You don't have the budget of a major national corporation, so you can't compete well in the mass media environment. Your prospective customer is already drowning in marketing messages. Simply lobbing another ad missile into the general market arena is hardly the way to target the person you're trying to reach. Because of the successful efforts of media salespeople, agents get robbed into spending huge sums of money on image or brand building marketing campaigns that reach large untargeted groups of consumers and that produce zero sales results. You have to establish a name and presence before the type of marketing works. Agents at the top of their game may want to reinforce that dominant market positions and enhance their strong reputations by shifting some of their marketing dollars into image advertising. But if you're an agent just beginning to ascend the ladder of real estate success, image advertising isn't what you need. At this point in your career, you need to reach highly targeted prospects with messages about specific offerings that align perfectly with their interests and needs. As you plan your marketing communication, think in terms of who, what, and why. Marketing communications is anything that you mail or email to the general public, your sphere of influence, or current and past clients. You must have a plan and an objective before you slap on that stamp or click send. Consider these things. Who is your target audience? What are you offering to your target audience? Why is the product you're offering a good fit for the wants, needs, and purchase abilities of your target audience? In this section, I help you target your marketing audience, define your product, and determine the position your product fills in the marketplace. Defining your target audience. Before you can choose how you're going to communicate your message and what you're going to say, you need to know who you're trying to talk to. The single biggest mistake in advertising is not just real estate advertising, but in all advertising, is that marketers create ads without a clear concept of the people they're trying to influence. As a result, they use the wrong media, say the wrong things, and fail to create leads, which is the objective or marketing and sales. Before you risk a similar mistake, begin by answering these questions. Who are you trying to reach with this particular message? Be specific. What age are your target prospects? How much money do they make? Where do members of this group currently live? Will this message be going to people you know? If so, it can and should be more personal than an ad reaching brand new prospects. People who already know you will most likely be the ones to consider doing business with you. Move them toward action by stressing your results and professional credentials while also conveying the benefits and features of the offer you're presenting. In this marketing message targeted to specific buyer groups, such as first-time home buyers, empty nesters, second home purchasers, or investors. If so, you need to focus your message toward the interests, needs, and motivations of that specific group. Is that market for this message comprised largely of consumers in the specific age group of generational demographic? If so, decide whether the offering you're promoting is one of premier interest to one of the following groups of consumers. Baby boomers born after World War II between 1946 and 1964, the post-baby boom generation born between 1965 and 1980 called Generation X, and people born between 1981 and 1996 called Generation Y or Millennials, people born between 1997 and 2010 known as Generation Z. Prospects in the older generation still remember the JFK's assassination, the first moon landing, and Watergate. Younger audience have never known a World without cell phones and the internet. Obviously, you should develop different messages and use different media approaches to reach each group. NAR and most of large real estate companies have conducted extensive research to define how prospects in each of the various generational groups relate to real estate marketing, sales, and servicing. Training courses on this topic are ongoing. Watch for one, enroll and invest a few dollars and a few hours to define the strategies and tactics you use with consumers in each of these generational age groups. Positioning your offering. In today's cluttering marketing environment, consumers are trained to tune out messages that don't seem to address their real and unfulfilled wants and needs. In other words, if your message doesn't clearly deliver a solution to your prospect's exact problem, if it doesn't position itself into an open slot in your prospect's mind, then your efforts, dollars, and time will go down and the marketing drain. Positioning in the marketing art of knowing in what available space or position you and your offering fill in the market, and then getting that message to exactly the people who want what you're offering. By first figuring out the position your offering files, you can easily decide who you want to talk to, what you want to say, and what marketing vehicles for advertising, to direct mail, to online, to personal calls. You need to use to reach the people you're targeting. Positioning the property you're selling. Understanding your product position can make the difference between reaching your prospect and not, between motivating interest and act and not, and between making a sale and not. In real estate, price is the cornerstone of positioning. In my experience, 85% of your marketing strategy is set during the listing presentation, when you and your seller agree on the right price and therefore the right market position for their home. After you worked with a seller to agree on the right listing price, your marketing strategy unfolds naturally following these steps. Creating a description of the home's likely buyer, listing the home's benefits and the reasons why likely buyers won't want to let the home go to anyone else, selecting media channels or communications approaches that are most apt to get your marketing message in front of your target audience of likely buyers. Knowing your product position and the nature of your likely buyer puts you in a better position to select the right media vehicles to carry your message to your market. Consider the following generalities in your planning. One segment of these buyers that is tech savvy in the first time buyer category. Young buyers may have limited funds, but they spend those funds on gratuity. They may be eating macaroni and cheese morning, noon, and night, but they have the latest smartphone. Using positivity to competitive sales advantage. Before diving into that, I think I'm going to take a little break. Put my bookmark there. Thank you so much for taking on Success with Real Estate with me, and check out my other videos. See you later. Bye.